Well, you know what? We should probably show the
Yeah,
clip
I
of
was
his
just thinking, I think your work is great, and
So
let's have
good.
the audience take a look. And we have a clip here, some of his artwork that we put together. So we got that clip, guys. There we go. Yeah,
Sorry, we're talking a lot doing that.
yeah, well, that's okay. I mean, well, that was just really good stuff.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, and we actually have some over there if we want to examine a little closer look.
Okay.
But no, these are your pieces on the left here, and what is that from the first one right there? Can you tell us about it on the?
The one on the left is one of the characters I've been writing about for a long time, and kind of still deciding on the treatment. But he's actually a bounty hunter from story and a kind of a sci-fi, futuristic story piece.
Nice.
Um,
Now you're trying to write the story?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
awesome.
mostly I've done is doing the treatment, what kind of media I would want to see.
Okay.
And it's been an up for debate for a long time. It seems like I talked to my wife about it, and we were starting to feel like it'd be a really great as a video game, because if you look on the right, the environment there. It felt like
That's where he's in.
the environments would be really great for a video game
Yeah.
versus some of the other stuff that I do, which would be better for writing. But this seems like it's starting to head in that direction. It's funny how projects seem to do that. When
Oh,
you
yeah,
do
they
it.
have a
just
mind of
kinda-
their own.
They have their mind of their own. They're like, I'm going to be here, and you're like, no, I want you.
Fine, you're gonna fit that
Yeah, I
way.
guess you're going to fit that way. I don't have much of a choice in that.
Well, the one on the right now, is that one more of the detailed pictures you're kind of talking about at times?
Yeah, it is actually. that was very hard. The picture was quite big. I think it was 48, maybe 36 inches wide.
Oh my God.
Huge, and I was getting into little rope pieces and like the rocks on the wall and stuff like that. And it was a lot of time. My wife loved it so much, she kept saying, keep doing it, I really like it, I want you to stick with it. And it took some energy and a couple of tries, but that probably the best part of that was doing the lighting. It was hard, but I liked it so much. It was so much fun to do something with that kind of lighting where you actually
No,
have to,
I
like,
definitely love the
down
contrast. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the
reflecting
inside.
and- yeah. But
No, that was brilliant.
those are one of those scenes that I thought that really seemed like it would be great for the game, like someone jumping back and forth
Oh,
between
yeah,
those
yeah.
platforms and kind of going into each part of the the doorways and stuff like that. It just seemed way too perfect. It seemed less like something you want to have in a story, more something like you want to actually be in.
Be in,
Yeah,
yeah.
and explore.
Yeah,
I mean, you made it
exactly.
perfect for that. I mean, honest to God, I kind of do want to jump in.
Other people are doing the same thing.
It's like, I
yeah.
want to jump in and go play.
That's one of those things. The story takes its own life. After a while, I talk to my wife a lot all the time. Like the story kind of just takes its own life.
Yep.
And you kind of like after a while, you're just like it's kind of making decisions on its own. I'm just kind of saying, whoop, here it is.
It's kind of like a child.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
really is.
You know,
It really is.
you take it, you raise it the best way you can, and it kind of takes on a life of its own.
Yeah, you
and,
get to a
and
certain point,
snowballs.
it's just going on its own. And you're like, I just have to make sure that I keep the bad ones out, you know? And that's the same thing. It's just like a teenager. Keep the bad friends out.
yeah.
And just
This is what I want.
Stop the
Yeah,
drugs and
and just go in the direction you should be. So.
That is awesome. Well, I mean, that's also the thing about art in general. Like I was saying, with John Alvin, it's our legacy. That's how we, in one way, can show a bit of ourselves and put a little bit of ourselves out into.
because it's hard unless you knew the guy. I mean, apparently he used to go to shows and wear red shoes for whatever reason.
Brilliant.
So
I'm totally loving
you
it
know,
because I have my own
I
pair
don't
of red
know.
shoes that I love.
So you don't really know that, unfortunately you don't know the guy, but then you see his work and it's just kind of like one of those like really, lasting type, oh yeah, I've seen all that stuff before.
And it seemed like he was a big fan, too, of the sci-fi.
Yeah.
And obviously in the fantasy, he went to conventions and stuff.
You can't do that good a job without being a big fan of it. You
Yeah,
can tell by
yeah.
someone who has a fan and who isn't. You know,
Right,
it's
right.
kind of
That's
it's just
true.
that little bit more that they have when,
that's
when
true.
they love that kind of stuff. So
Speaking of like, kind of like, we're talking a little bit about world building and whatnot. I remember seeing on the blog, one of the blogs you're doing with some other people, that are you still involved with the like this project, or it's going to be some, like a role-playing game or something like that? Or
actually, it's a thing called Begtobar.
Okay.
You can actually find it at begtobar.com.
Okay.
And he's doing actually his own world building, and he wanted me to help with some of the characters, so he actually commissioned me to do some. One of the characters you actually saw, that kind of wolf character.
Yeah.
That's one of the characters from
Okay.
it. I did several other ones. I have 2 more actually coming up for it, and it's a huge world that they're doing. I love doing the same thing as world building. I love world building. It's so much fun to kind of have your mind race, like almost like you're reading like a Tolkien book. You know,
Yeah,
you're just like
yeah.
going through every piece, and you just can't help but like want to keep going through it. And that's probably one of my favorite things to do, is definitely world build, and then take that and do that in the art, which I think most artists do themselves. They build the
Yeah,
world
yeah,
and
they
then
want
draw
to
it.
just, they have this incredible imagination and just say, okay, I just want to play and get that out there. That's just fantastic that you do that. That's just really cool.
I could not get more fulfillment than doing that. I drive thinking like that. Anything I do, I drive home from work, and that's what I'm doing. I'm actually running through story scenarios and environments and stuff like that. So
Awesome.
Well, speaking